NLC calls nationwide protest against telecom tariff hike. Chaos at the PDP Board of Trustees meeting as Anyang Okoye supporters clash. Federal government grounds Max Air for 3 months following Kano incident. On the foreign scene, Rwanda-backed rebels tighten control over Goma as regional leaders convened a meeting. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. The Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has declared a nationwide protest over the recent hike in telecommunications tariffs. The protest is scheduled to take place on Tuesday, February the 4th, 2025. This was stated in a communique issued after the National Administrative Council meeting of the NLC on Wednesday. The federal government approved a 50% increase after telecom operators initially requested a 100% tariff hike. In response, the NLC on Friday called on Nigerians to prepare for a nationwide boycott of telecommunication services in protest against the increase. However, after an emergency meeting on Wednesday, NLC President Joe Ajero said the council rejected the 50% tariff hike. He described the increase as insensitive, unjustifiable, and a direct assault on Nigerian workers and the general populace, who are already burdened by worsening economic hardship. In politics, the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has stepped into the escalating crisis over the party's secretaryship, a dispute that continues to fracture the main opposition. At its 79th meeting on Wednesday, the Board of Trustees established a committee to engage with the warring factions and seek an amicable resolution to the matter, currently before the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, the board also took a hard swipe at the Tinubu administration over its handling of national affairs. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman now reports.
Political tension reached a boiling point as thugs stormed the PDP secretariat, blocking Sunday Ude Okoye, the appeal court recognized national secretary, from attending the crucial BOT meeting just moments before it began. But behind closed doors and under heavy security, the PDP Board of Trustees, led by Senator Adelpos Wabara, meticulously dissected the crisis and arrived at key resolutions.
In the effort to resolve the current crisis over the position of the National Secretary of the party, which is presently before the court, or courts, if you may, the Board of Trustees set up a committee led by Barrister Tanimu Turaki, SAN, to interface with the parties, study the situation, and report to the board for further action.
The meeting, attended by embattled National Secretary Senator Samuel Anyang, concluded with assurances from Acting National Chairman Ambassador Ilya Damagun that the much-anticipated NEC meeting set for February 28 will proceed as planned. The BOT also voiced deep concerns over the Tinubu administration's handling of the nation's economic turmoil.
The Board of Trustees demands that the APC administration immediately rescinds all its anti-people policies and takes urgent steps to stimulate the productive sector, create jobs, and revamp the ailing economy.
Yet, beyond the battle for party leadership, another storm looms. The appeal court ruling affirming Sunday Ude Okoye as the rightful national secretary, a decision now challenged by Senator Anyang. With factional struggles mounting, the PDP's survival as Nigeria's main opposition party hangs in the balance. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The All Progressives Congress, APC, has expelled Rauf Aregbesola, a former Minister of Interior and former Osun State Governor, over alleged anti-party activities. Chief Aregbesola, who was a two-term governor of Osun State, had been having a running battle with the Osun State chapter of the APC in recent times. The disagreement with the APC led him to form a factional group within the party known as the Osun Progressives TOP, which later mutated into the Omoluabi Caucus. A letter from the APC leadership on Wednesday officially confirmed Aregbesola's expulsion. The letter, titled Allegations of Anti-Party Activities, Conveyance of State Exco Decision to You, accused him of breaching Article 21 of the party's constitution, which outlines disciplinary measures for members. In another development, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Tuggar, has raised concerns that the withdrawal of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger Republic from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, will have far-reaching consequences for regional security, economy, and the integration efforts. Ambassador Tuggar, in an interview, noted that the exit of these countries from ECOWAS is a complex issue that requires careful consideration and diplomatic efforts to address the underlying concerns. He stressed that the decision to impose sanctions on these countries was a collective one made by the ECOWAS heads of states and government. The minister also noted that President Bola Tinubu has been working to address these concerns of these countries through diplomatic channels. The minister emphasized the need for continued collaboration and cooperation to mitigate the challenges arising from this development. The federal government has announced the suspension of operations of Max Air following Tuesday night's incident involving the airline's aircraft in Kano. A Max Air B734 aircraft with registration marks 5NMBD had experienced a tire burst on landing at Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano, on Tuesday night. This will be the third incident in the space of 3 months involving a Max Air plane. Though the 53 passengers on board were evacuated unhurt, the aircraft was temporarily shut before the runway was reopened by the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria (FAN) by 8 a.m. on Wednesday. The Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau (NSIB) has also initiated an investigation into the occurrence. However, the regulatory authority, the NCAA, in a statement confirming the incident, said it will provide the required support to the NSIB in this regard. The statement said the suspension is with effect from midnight of 31st of January 2025 to allow for an internal appraisal of Max Air's operations by the management. Leaders of the Lake Chad region and some partner organizations have pledged to ensure stabilization of peace and socio-economic resilience in the region. They stated these at the 5th edition of the Lake Chad Governors Forum held in Maiduguri with the theme, Rebuilding the Lake Chad. Consolidating gains, commitment to peace, cross-border cooperation, security, and sustainable development for a resilient community. It was hosted by the Yobe State government. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, represented by his Vice President Kashim Shettima, blamed the challenges of the region to non-state actors who exploit weak borders, poor governance, and fragile economies. The Vice President called for a multifaceted approach to address the root causes of insurgency, poverty, inequality, and lack of opportunities for youths. Other leaders pointed out that the forum is crucial in ending the challenges of the region, hence the need for their commitment.
We must not allow the geopolitical tensions across the world to sow discord amongst us, nor should we permit ourselves to become tools in any of the agenda. The salvation of the Lake Chad region is neither in Europe nor in the Americas. It lies in the hands of all those gathered here today. You, distinguished representatives of this forum, embody not only our collective will to protect the region, but also the transformative potential that stability brings. The two enemies remain the non-state actors, those who exploit weak borders, poor governance, and fragile economies to challenge our claim to civilization. However, the worst threat we may face is not the insurgents or terrorists at all to humanity. It is the absence of cooperation, sincerity, and fidelity to our shared pact as brothers keepers. We undermine this pact when we renege on agreements to secure our borders.
The Niger region is indeed the future of Africa. With its youthful and rapidly growing population, the region is positioned to become a major driver of economic progress and political leadership. The potential of this region to share the future is not only Africa, but the world at large cannot be overstated, provided we continue to nurture its growth, the right support, and the strong political will necessary to address its challenges. Since the establishment of this forum, Borno State has remained steadfast and committed to its realization of its vision and mission. In our efforts to rebuild the state and restore the social contract between government and communities, we have made significant strides in providing essential infrastructure, enhancing security, and creating livelihood opportunities for our people. These efforts are aligned with the broader goals of the forum, which seeks to foster peace, security, and sustainable development in the region.
This year's forum is also a celebration of entering a new phase in our Lake Chad engagement. Thanks to the impressive work done by Ambassador Nubu, the honorable governors, and all the actors and partners gathered here today, astonishing progress in the face of adversity has been achieved. Displaced people returned to their homes, livelihoods were rebuilt, and hope was restored. At the same time, the challenges in the Lake Chad Basin region remain immense. We are facing a complex crisis when stability, poverty, and climate change converge. This Governors Forum represents the unique opportunity to ensure that the new beginning in terms of adapted strategy and new support mechanism are geared towards addressing these remaining challenges.
A two-story building has collapsed at the Mega Mall Estate, Mobile Road, Inikpa Villa, Ikotaja in Lagos. The immediate cause of the incident is unknown. Reports say so far the bodies of an adult male and a young boy were recovered, while 5 adult males with serious injuries have been rescued and taken to the hospital. Information indicates that more people are likely to still be under the rubble. Meanwhile, search and rescue operations is still ongoing.
So boys will let you bring it, don't carry it yourself. Boys will let you carry it.
To judicial stories now. Justice Marian Aneni of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Abuja, has adjourned the trial in the alleged money laundering case against the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, to the 3rd, 24th, and 6th of May. Justice Aneni adjourned the case for the continuation of hearing after the first witness, Fabian Nwora, a property developer, was called to testify at the day's proceedings. The prosecution counsel, Kemi Pinheiro SAN, informed the court that he had 5 witnesses to call for the day, but Justice Marian Aneni said she could only take 1 witness. Counsel for the first and second defendants, Joseph Daudu SAN, however, informed the court that the prosecution had not made the statements on the oath of the second defendant available to the defense team. He said he was aware that the first defendant had not made any statement yet. The Federal High Court sitting in Ado-Ekiti has struck out the case of defamation against human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi, instituted against him by the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun. The prosecuting counsel, Samson Osubo, told the court on Wednesday that he had filed a notice of discontinuance and withdrawal brought pursuant to Section 108, Subsection 1 and Subsection 2A of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015. Oshobo said the notice is to withdraw the charge against the defendants and pray that the charge be struck out. According to him, the nominal complaint, Afe Babalola had expressed his desire to discontinue the case. Counsel to the defendant, A. Olumide Fusika, SAN, accepted the discontinuance and withdrawal. Justice Babs Kwemwumi, in his ruling, thereafter struck out the suit. Women in Jigawa State's agricultural sector say they contribute significantly to the state's economic development despite facing numerous challenges occasioned by low government interventions in the area of agricultural inputs. The women who criticized the low allocation of funds to the sector in Nigeria's budget said such allocation is inadequate to support smallholder farmers' needs and called on the government to set aside a certain percentage of interventions specifically for women farmers. Trust TV's Ali Rabi Ali filed in this report as presented from our studio.
According to the Jigawa State Secretary of the Small Scale Women Farmers Organization in Nigeria, Malama Ramatu Dahiru, women farmers play a crucial role in the state's agricultural landscape, but lack access to necessary resources and information. Ramatu highlighted that women farmers have different groups, include crop producers, livestock rearers, poultry farmers, and fish farmers. She also listed women groundnut oil processors, women rice millers, and women neem oil and fertilizer cooperatives. Ramatu maintained that despite their contributions, women farmers face challenges including lack of access to finance, training, markets, and modern technology. The Northwest Coordinator of the Nigerian Women in Agricultural Business Cooperative Society, Hajia Balaraba Abdullahi, emphasized that women and youth participation in Jigawa's agribusiness is crucial for the state's economic growth and development. She noted that women account for about 60% of the agricultural workforce in Nigeria, but face hurdles including lack of access to finance, training, and markets.
My call to Jigawa state government, the present administration is doing a great job in the agricultural sector. No doubt about it. There should be a kind of inclusion in whatever intervention they are giving out. There should be an inclusion. Women should be included, especially those at the grassroots level. They should feel the impact of the programs and policies that the government is putting in place in order to develop agriculture in the state. Jigawa is blessed. Jigawa have a lot of potentials. Jigawa, as I'm speaking to you, I think Jigawa is #1 in hibiscus farming in the whole of Nigeria.
The National Treasurer, Small Scale Women Farmers Organization in Nigeria, Petunia Authority, KEFAS, stated that Nigeria loses an estimated 3.5 trillion naira annually to post-harvest losses, hindering the country's food security and economic development. KEFAS said they are advocating for increased funding for the agricultural sector, especially for small-scale women farmers, while also providing training and support to enhance their productivity and income.
I want to appreciate the federal government and the state government for what they have done in Jigawa. In fact, it's incredible, and we are really grateful for that. So I want to call for them also. Let them not relent in doing what they have been doing. Let them increase, just like Oliver Twist, we've been asking for more, so that every community, every ward, our women farmers, they will get something. Despite our challenges, maybe in communication, we can come down to their level. Even in Hausa, we will talk to the government, and the government, they will give us. In the local government, they can help us.
Deputy Director, Agri Services at the Jigawa State Ministry of Agriculture, Bashir Musa, acknowledged women's significant contributions to crop production despite facing challenges, and advised women to continue advocating for their rights to access necessary resources. Overall, stakeholders say women in Jigawa State's agricultural sector are playing a vital role in promoting the interests of small-scale women farmers, hence the need for policies and programs that support their empowerment and economic development.
This is News Hour on Trust TV. We have more news after this break. Don't go away. Welcome back. You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. NLC threatens nationwide protest against telecom tariff hike, and chaos at the PDP Board of Trustees meeting as Anyanwu and Okoye supporters clash. Moving to other stories now, the national chairman of Jama'atu Izalatul Bid'ah wa Iqamatus Sunnah, Sheikh Abdullahi Balalau, has broken his silence over the controversy surrounding the sponsorship of the upcoming National Quran Convention. Speaking to Trust TV in Abuja on Tuesday, Sheikh Lau addressed mounting criticisms over alleged federal government funding for the event. He dismissed the backlash, asserting that Jibus, like other religious organizations, have the right to receive government support.
This convention is all about the presentation of Holy Quran, where the reciters of the Holy Quran, memorizers and reciters of the Holy Quran, will come together under one umbrella, under the leadership of His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto. This conference or this convention is organized by the Spring Council of Islamic Affairs in Nigeria, and all the Islamic organizations were invited. Izala, we are part of that. So on that, we think it is obligatory upon us to tell our teaming viewers, teaming followers, there is no sole sponsor of this program. It's just mere saying. People are saying, they're saying what they want. But as far as we are concerned, even you want your contributions. Please bring your contributions. I will bring my own. So Muslim Ummah cannot sponsor this kind of program. If this program is going to cost 1 billion or 2 billion, if under my organization, in a month we can be able to produce and bring up to 600 million naira or 1 billion naira, what do you think other organizations, they cannot do that?
All right.
So Muslim Ummah cannot be able to do. And even if government want to take part and bring contribution, who will say no? Are we not part of the government? We brought the government to power.
Right.
So we have the right that government should sponsor, should bring assistance. They want peace and harmony to reign in Nigeria.
Authorities of the Agege local government area of Lagos State have closed the Hausa Community Central Mosque following a reported clash at the mosque. The incident occurred after the death of the Agege Hausa Community's Chief Imam, Sheikh Sharif Habib Abdul Majid, on Wednesday. Trust TV's Abbas Dalibi has more.
In a video circulating on social media, worshippers were seen fighting inside the mosque. The conflict involves three factions: the deceased Imam's family and their supporters, the Naibi and his supporters who want him to succeed the late Imam, and the Sarkin Hausawa of Agege Council who support the late Imam's son. Sheikh Mahmoud Shafi, a religious leader in Lagos supporting Sheikh Mustafa Imam Mukhtar, the deputy Imam, said he witnessed the disturbance. We were in the mosque for prayers and expected Imam Mustafa Imam Mukhtar to lead, as he was the deputy Imam. However, some individuals disrupted the proceedings. I urge the police to investigate and ensure justice for peace to prevail. Ibrahim Adu Yarima told Trust TV they had prior information about the planned disruption and had notified the police.
So when I have the rumors that there's going to be a crisis, I called the attention of the DIG operation, DIG Ari Muhammad Ali, which he said I should go and meet the CP Director of Lagos State. And I went and met the CP together with the Deputy Chief Imam, which we introduced ourselves. And he gave us maximum security for us to have our Friday prayer in peace. From his office, he directed us to the DC operation. In our presence, the CP called the area commander, Area G Command, ACP Abayomi. He called him in our presence that he should attend the prayer also, it should be there so that everything will go in peace. But unfortunately, when the deputy imam arrived to the mosque to lead the prayers, the other parties come with their talks. They started fighting in the mosque.
Sheikh Mustafa Imam Danlami asserted his right to be chief imam, citing his position as the late imam's deputy. I was appointed the deputy imam of Agege Hausa Community Central Mosque on September 26, 2021. This was confirmed in the mosque in the presence of the Sarkin Hausawa of Agege, other stakeholders, and the mosque committee. We have photographic evidence of the event. I am surprised that the Sarkin Hausawa Council is attempting to disrupt this established process and practice. Imam Mustafa called on authorities to intervene and ensure justice for peace. Sheikh Sharif Ismail Habib Abdul Majid, the late Imam's son, who is also claiming the position, declined interview, citing his period of mourning. Abubakar Ali Naibi, the General Secretary of the Council of Sarkin Hausawa of Agege, stated that such disputes are common in developing communities. He affirmed that the Sarkin Hausawa of Agege is responsible for managing the affairs of the Hausa Community Mosque and recognizes the late Imam's son, Sheikh Sharif Ismail Habib, as the Naibi, now recognized as the Imam. Agege local government chairman Kola Egunjobi stated that the mosque's closure was necessary to prevent further conflict. He added that he would invite all parties involved to a reconciliation meeting.
In recent years, reports of alleged land grabbing and unapproved developments have become increasingly prevalent in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Reports indicate a troubling rise in the number of land encroachments and illegal land transactions affecting both individuals and corporate bodies. Habibat Ajayi has more on this story.
Land grabbers who now operate in well-coordinated syndicates employ various tactics to illegally acquired property. Such tactics include encroaching on lands that have already been allocated to legitimate owners, converting temporary site allocations into permanent ownership without authorization, extending development beyond the boundaries of allocated land, as well as forging land documents to facilitate fraudulent sales and ownership claims. These tactics have become a widespread issue, leaving many landowners with no legal recourse. He explains how his company acquires specific piece of property only for developers to claim ownership fraudulently.
When we were signing this joint venture agreement, we didn't make that person a director of the land asset. He was only the developer asset. However, for you to be able to sign a COO, it has to be the landowner. So it stands to show that he used this cover to misrepresent himself as the owner. Not only did he not just misrepresent himself as a shareholder or a director, he misrepresented to the authorities who could have been misled that he is actually the owner of Jonah Capital. And in exchange for his service, which is also spelled out in this agreement, my principal gave him 30% of the land, which again is annotated here, where you see in the layout of the estate here, you see the signatures and the individual signature here.
Kojo further described the aggressive methods employed by these developers, sharing a particular troubling experience where a mob was sent to intimidate and invade his property.
And in this instance, I have made a report to the embassies of my country. The Ghana High Commission has been informed.
The encroachment on Kojo's land, he adds, is not just a matter of illegal development. Legal action has been initiated with court orders in place to address the issue. However, the process remains slow as the situation continues to worsen despite the legal proceedings. A real estate expert explained the procedures for land acquisition in the capital city.
Plots that are FCD plots, as ones that comes with FCDR of O, the ones from AGs and C of O, they are not so much open to land grabbing. Where you encounter land grabbing most of the time are municipal plots, AMAC plots, Kuji, Papi, what other area council plots. Those are the ones, and the reason is because it's not fully plotted on the system. In fact, even with your paper, you have to go and some sort of register before you'll be given a TDP, signed TDP and stuff. So this signed TDP usually is what is being compromised. So these land grabbers, maybe they clone signatures of most of these directors from FCD.
Despite numerous requests for interviews, relevant government ministries have yet to respond, leaving the public and affected individuals without adequate information or support in addressing these growing issues. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have raided the Abuja home of a former executive secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, Professor Usman Yusuf, and picked him up. It was learned that the gun-wielding operatives arrested the professor of hematology and oncology, and including bone marrow transplantation, in his house in the presence of his wife and children at about 4:46 p.m. on Wednesday over a yet-to-be-revealed offense. Sources familiar with the development said Professor Yusuf was driven to an unknown location after he was picked up by the EFCC operatives. Although details of why he was arrested was not disclosed by the operatives when they were approached by his relatives, sources say his arrest might not be unconnected with his activities when he held sway at the NHIS. It will be recalled that Professor Yusuf was relieved of his appointment in 2019 by the former President Muhammadu Buhari, 7 months after he was recommended for dismissal by a fact-finding panel set up by the Federal Ministry of Health in 2017 over an alleged mismanagement of 919 million naira. When contacted, the spokesman of the EFCC, Dele Oyewale, confirmed that the former NHIS boss was with the anti-graft agency and will be arraigned in court on Thursday. Troops of 6th Brigade, Nigerian Army, and Sector 3 Operation Wheel Stroke, OPWS, have intercepted rustled cattle and arrested 3 suspects in Taraba State. A statement by the Acting Director, 6th Brigade, Army Public Relations, Captain Olobun Dunde Oni, says the interception occurred at Manai village in Gasol local government area, where the suspects were found in possession of 174 cows and 57 sheep believed to have been rustled from border villages between Plateau and Taraba states. Preliminary investigations revealed that the livestock were being transported to Cameroon via Karamati in Gashaka local government area of the state. Oni said efforts are ongoing in collaboration with the relevant stakeholders, including community leaders, to ascertain the ownership of the livestock for proper restitution to the rightful owners. He assured that 6th Brigade Nigerian Army remains resolute in its commitment to maintaining law and order across Taraba State and beyond. In a related development, the Jigawa State government, in collaboration with the National Cash Transfer Office and the State Cash Transfer Unit, has commenced the distribution of automated teller machine ATM cards to 23,000 beneficiaries across the state. The initiative, part of President Tinubu's Renewed Hope initiative, aims to provide financial support to vulnerable citizens, with each beneficiary receiving a total of 75,000 naira disbursed as 25,000 naira per month over 3 months directly into their designated bank accounts. The report.
Governor Namadi praised President Tinubu for launching the initiative, emphasizing its role in alleviating poverty, reducing unemployment, and improving living standards in Jigawa State. He reaffirmed his administration's commitment to complementing federal government programs for sustainable development.
We have witnessed the relaunching of the cash transfer by the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This cash transfer is a cash transfer that has reflected the economic situation of this country. Earlier on, the cash transfer, the highest was 20,000 naira. Today, we have seen beneficiaries that are supposed to get up to 75,000 naira. Each and every beneficiary will get 75,000 naira, and about 23,000 beneficiaries will benefit in Jigawa State. This is something that will definitely improve economic activity, that will improve the livelihood of our people in Jigawa State.
Other speakers at the event highlighted how Jigawa's alignment with national policies is driving positive transformation across the state.
This program is very important to us, particularly the people of Jigawa State. Looking at the World Bank indices that shows that Jigawa State is one of the poorest states in Nigeria. So in trying of the federal government to at least bring up people out of poverty, that is why the present administration come back with this program in order to at least help poor and vulnerable households. So as you can see, we have a number of beneficiaries that are going to receive their ATM cards, which one some are credited with 25,000 naira, some 50,000, some 75. So it's a program that is launched by his present administration in order to at least help the poorest people among the society.
The distribution of ATM cards will continue until all 23,000 beneficiaries have received theirs, ensuring seamless access to their financial aid. In total, 575 million naira will be disbursed through this program to support citizens in need.
The federal government has announced the deportation of 828 illegal immigrants in 2024 as part of government's intensified efforts to combat irregular migration and enhance national security. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunjiojo disclosed these at a media briefing in Abuja on Tuesday. As part of broader reforms, the government implemented measures to modernize border operations and immigration systems. These include integrating Nigerian passports into the International Civil Aviation Organization Public Key Directory, allowing seamless verification worldwide, and establishing a centralized visa approval center in Abuja to streamline visa processing. To support these initiatives, an 8.3 petabyte data center, the largest in Nigeria, has been constructed, and a solar-powered infrastructure was introduced to ensure uninterrupted operations. The minister added that a command and control center now provides real-time monitoring of all land and air entry points, boosting surveillance capabilities. Operatives of the Ogun 1 Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service, Idiroko, have handed over 1,625 parcels of intercepted cannabis sativa to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, as part of their ongoing crackdown on illicit drug trafficking. The seized contraband included 780 coconut-sized, 225 book-sized, and 160 bread-sized parcels, all intercepted through intelligence-driven operations along various cross-border routes under the command. In a formal handover ceremony at the Nigeria Customs Service Sanctuary Quarters, Idiroko, the narcotic commander of NDLEA, Idiroko Special Area Command, Adeyeye Olusegun, received the parcels in the spirit of inter-agency collaboration. Addressing journalists, Customs Area Controller for Ogun 1 Command, Controller Mohammed Shuaibu, referred the agency's commitment to eradicating smuggling and protecting national security. He urged the public to support the fight by providing timely and credible information to aid law enforcement in combating smuggling and other economic crimes.
I am pleased to inform you that from January 1 to 27 January 2027, the command recorded significant seizures. These seizures include 2,002 bags of smuggled rice weighing 50 kg each, 6,180 pieces of cutlasses, 6,375 liters of PMS, among others. The intercepted items during this period bring the total duty paid value, that's ZPV, to 77,476,105.
These figures reflect our relentless efforts to curtail smuggling activities and enforce compliance with customs regulations. As part of our interagency collaboration, we are handing over intercepted parcels of cannabis sativa to the commander of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA.
You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. We will return shortly. Welcome back. Let's join Yusuf Akogu for the stock market update.
Welcome to Stock Market Update. I am Yusuf Akogu. The Nigeria Exchange Limited closed positive at the end of Wednesday's trading session with the all-share index gaining 0.57%. The price appreciation added 298 billion naira to the market capitalization. Of course, leading the gain as today is Aradel. Aradel gained 10% to close at 594 naira per share. Chalaram PLC also gained a 9.98% to close at 5 naira and 40 kobo per share. Stanbic IBTC also gained 9.92% to close at 71 naira and 45 kobo per share. This has pushed up the index up by 0.57%. Volume of trade 421.6 million shares, value at 14.9 billion naira. It is of 16,256 lead exchanges among investors. The top trading equities by volume, of course, we have Universal Insurance Company PLC at 3.6 million volume of shares it traded. Fidelity Bank Nigeria PLC 21.9 million shares. Of course, FCMB 23 million volume of shares were traded at the close of business today. Of course, some equities ended on the losing side of the market. We have Cavity Helicopter leader with a 10% it lost to close at 2 naira and 7 kobo per share. Mark Nico also down as well, 10% to close at 1 naira and 44 kobo per share. Thomas was also down as well, 9.80% to close at 1 naira and 84 kobo per share. And that's the highlight of Nigerian stock market. Let's see the global stock market for today. And that's stock market update. I am Yusuf Akogu.
On the foreign scene, Rwanda-backed rebels captured large parts of eastern Congo's largest city, including its airport. This was announced by the United Nations, as Rwanda's president on Wednesday joined calls for a ceasefire in the decade-long conflict. Much of the beleaguered city of Goma was calm early Wednesday morning after a day during which thousands of persons were seen fleeing down the streets with missiles and injured people streamed to overwhelmed hospitals. While government forces still control pockets of Goma, the residents said the M23 rebel group was in control of much of the Goma city. The M23 rebels, who claim to have captured the city on Monday after a week-long advance, are one of about 100 armed groups vying for a foothold in the mineral-rich eastern Congo. The conflict escalated with the rebels' advance into Goma, which left bodies on the streets and drove hundreds of thousands of persons already displaced to flee once again. A plane has crashed in the North-South Sudan. I'll take it down again. A plane has crashed in north of Southern Sudan, or South Sudan, killing at least 20 people, Unity State Minister for Information announced on Wednesday. The aircraft came down near the oil fields in Unity State at around 10:30 a.m. local time, shortly after taking off from the capital, Juba. The minister said the aircraft chartered by the Greater Pioneer Operating Company, GPOC, and operated by Light Air Services Aviation Company, was on a routine mission to the area. The government has vowed there will be an investigation, although most people predicted that the crash might be a mechanical collision. Time now to join Emmanuel Fashemi for the latest in sports.
The University of Jos Plateau State will host the upcoming Nigerian University Games Association Tuggar Championship, which will mark rugby's historic debut as a medal-winning sport. This represents a significant milestone for rugby, which has become an essential part of the game's sports program due to the core values it promotes, including character building, respect, discipline, teamwork, integrity, and sportsmanship. The sport's growth has been further fueled by the participation of Nigeria's national teams in various international tournaments. In recent years, rugby has witnessed a surge in interest and development, especially among young athletes and educational institutions. The inclusion of rugby in the Tuggar Games is credited to the relentless efforts of two key figures, Musa Gaba Yakasai, chairman of the technical committee for the Tuggar Games, and Joseph Awonifa, chairman of Tuggar Rugby. Both worked behind the scenes to ensure that rugby not only debuted at the Games, but also earned its place as a medal-scoring event, further cementing its significance within the Nigerian sports landscape. The president of the Nigeria Rugby Football Federation, NRFF, Ademola Are, commended the duo for their dedication and vision and expressed optimism that this inclusion would have a far-reaching impact on the sports development in the country, particularly among the youth. Are further emphasized that the debut of rugby at the Tuggar Games will serve as a springboard to promote the sport's growth across Nigerian universities, ensuring that it becomes a staple in youth sports development programs nationwide. Nigerian hockey clubs are preparing to compete in the prestigious Africa Cup for Club Champions ACCC in Ismail, Egypt. The 35th men's and 26th women's editions of the tournament will bring together top hockey teams from across the continent from January 30th to February 7th, 2025. Nigeria will be represented by 3 women's teams, Kada Queens, Plateau Queens, and Delta Queens. In the men's competition, Kada Stars and Niger Flickers will fly the Nigerian flag. The Nigerian contingent is expected to face stiff competition from established hockey nations like Egypt, Ghana, and Uganda. The tournament's pool draw has placed Kada Stars and Niger Flickers in Pool A alongside defending champions El Shakai and Port Fouad of Egypt, as well as Kenya's Western Jaguar. In the women's category, Kada Queens and Delta Queens have been drawn together in Pool A, while Plateau Queens will compete in Pool B. The Nigerian teams have expressed their readiness to give their all and make their nation proud at the championship. And that is sports. I am Emmanuel Fashimi.
Sports Report concludes Wednesday's edition of News Hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. Thank you for watching. I'm Muhammad Kuda Abubakar. Good night.